In this tutorial we're going to make a heat map. We're going to use the build years of a part of Utrecht. You could also make a heat map, for example, if you have a point file of emissions or sand or something like that, so you can make a heat map of where most of the emissions are taking place. Let me see, for this I'll use the BAG files, and those are, I'm going to show you quickly. I went to the Nationaal Georegister website, I searched for Bach, clicked the first one, I went to Bach WFS, click that, and every time you see a website like this, just copy the link and throw it in the WFS server. So you give it a name and you give it a URL, you paste the URL here. If it says WFS, you do it for WFS. If it says WMS here, then you do it for the WMS. But we're looking for the vector files. So I already did that. I did it under this name. It's just a placeholder name, and you zoom in to the area that you're interested in, and you zoom in quite far because it's going to download all the houses in the Netherlands. So you click Pand, you wait, there it is. You zoom out, and you zoom out a bit more, or maybe a bit too far. You just do this steadily, and if you want a certain building and it's not loading, just zoom in and then zoom out back again. You can see on the progress bar here how far it is when it's done. I'm just going to do this area. It's not going to make a beautiful heat map, but it's just to show you how it works. So you do right click, export, save features as. It's going to take a while. Somehow it keeps on hanging at this stage, but just bear with me, it will work. So it's done. It took maybe like a half a minute. We're going to save this, and you probably need to open this tab. You click extend, map canvas extend, so we're only going to save everything that is inside of this extend. So that's the shape, okay, and then you click OK. We'll write the file because I already made it. Then delete the Netherlands file, and now we have the BAG of this area that we selected. You can identify it with the identification tool, and you will see that, okay, it gives information of surface area, when it's built, stuff like that. And if you follow the last tutorials, you can also categorize it by those parts. Let me just quickly, we're gonna get a value of built here, and we're going to use spectrals. Going to classify, and the oldest one is going to be red, and the newest ones are going to be blue. Click OK, and then you get a colorful map. But for the heat map you need points. So the points are made through vector, geometry tools, centroids. And you're going to select what place to save them, and you're going to hit run, and it will give you points, as you can see. Well, these points still have the same data as the shapes, so you can see the build year and the surface area. Now, to use the heat map, you just type in heat and you will get the heat map kernel density estimation. There's a bunch of math going on that I don't understand, and maybe some of you do. But here's the radius, so I'm going to say every point needs to look for 30 meters from itself to find some other data point. And if it hits that data point and it is a high or a low value, it does some calculations with it to create a weight. And that has to do, I think, with the kernel shape. You can use triangular, uniform, tri-weight. I believe if you would Google it, you will get graphs and they will show you what it means. And you can also put in a decay ratio. I don't understand any of it. I'm just looking for to make nice maps that can show just a bit what's going on. So I'm going to use the weight from, as weight I'm going to use the build here. So as older the buildings are closer together. So if you would have one building that's built in the year 1000, but 100 buildings surrounding it within 30 meters that are built in 2020, it will not show up old as an old area, but as a new area. So keep that in mind when you make maps like this. There's just a lot of math going behind it, and you need to take that all in account. The pixel size, how big are the pixels, the faster the program is done. So I'm going to make, let me see, I'm going to make pixels of 1 meter, so it's just a bit faster. And I'm going to save it to a file. And I'm going to hit run. And made a map like this. So it makes a density, and the density then also gets calculated with the build gear. And if you follow the tutorial of the height maps, you will know what to do next. Single map pseudo color, and hit classify, that's already done. And if you hit apply, okay, so all the new parts are red, and the old parts are blue. Let's turn that around. Invert the color ramp, hit apply, hit OK. And if we put our Bach on top of it, we can see that, yeah, all the blue parts are fairly blue, and those are also the older buildings, but the stuff in between, you can see here that probably it's not completely correct. It has to do something with how it calculates the weights. If you're really interested in this stuff, please look it up a bit more. I only use this for smell and stuff like that, and it gave me an approximately nice map which I could design with. Yeah, so that's about the heat maps, and the next tutorial is going to be how to get data from AutoCAD into this GIS software. Well, see you in the next one.